Few things quicken the heartbeat of a motor caravanning enthusiast more than the sight of an auto-trail. And if you're touring in the southwest this summer, you'll see a steady stream of them going in both directions on all the major roads. Now, the company surprised many for the 2015 season by launching a budget range. Every model under £50,000 and for less than 3,500 kilograms MTPLM. The reason for this is that Auto-Trail traditionally mines the mid to upper market segments and does so very successfully. So very interesting to see them releasing a product where they've normally let one of their sub-brands, Tribute, do all that heavy lifting for them. So let's get inside and have a look and see what the finest motor caravan design minds in Grimsby have been busy doing. The 715 is a 4-berth with a French bed at one end and a make-up double here in the lounge at the other. There's also an option to have 2 extra berths up above in the overcab section, but on this particular demonstrator they've opted for storage instead. Now, the ambience in here is very pleasing. There's lots of mid-tone woods, which is just as well because there is a lot of woodwork on offer in this van. I particularly like the way that there's a bit of a relief in the overhead lockers. They have that beige strip along the bottom and the handles are actually hidden, so they're not on the outside, they're actually underneath. You pull them out and they close with a very reassuring click. High quality by anyone's book. I found another mark of quality when looking at the lounge windows. They've got cassette blinds. Fantastic, I thought, because most budget vans would be expected to make do with a roller blind, which generally aren't quite as effective as shutting out the light completely. Imagine my surprise, therefore, when I went to pull the curtains across and I found out that they were decorative only. And I thought, that's a bit strange. If they're decorative, why have them in? But I'm sure some customers would think, no curtains? That looks a bit strange. I like curtains, I'd rather have them. I suppose the two things are balanced out. Having no curtains and concertina blinds, I suppose, is an acceptable compromise. But for others who may not want to compromise, £650 will buy you the media pack, which gives you a flat screen TV, Bluetooth connectivity and a reversing camera, which is very handy for driving along on a vehicle with a flat back that you can't see behind at all. I particularly like that feature. There's a slew of driving aids fitted as standard on the Imala. Gear change indicator, ESC, hill hold and cruise control with speed limiter, to name but a few. A couple of other things of note I really like are the chrome rings on the instrument cluster. That's very clever of Auto-Trail to specify that, because it references the infills on the door handles outside, which have little chrome effect inlays, a very pleasing touch. British motor caravanners, Auto-Trail knows who you are and what you want in your kitchen, and it has served up a real treat for you in this department. We have a dual fuel cooker. You get one electric hot plate to go with your gas burners, separate oven and grill, microwave oven with a very natty aluminium surround, good attention to detail there, and an oblong sink. Also a dual fuel fridge with separate freezer compartment. Another thing of note in the kitchen is this rather handy vertical plug socket. It's an efficient use of space because obviously it saves having to have them on the wall, but there's one small setback with this one. The actual sockets are round the wrong way. They don't allow you to stack plugs going upwards because the cables will get in the way. The simple solution is to rotate them through 90 degrees and the cables will be free to fall wherever they want. Now, you may be wondering why a French bed is exactly that. Je ne sais pas. Ask a Frenchman. I have no idea why they're called a French bed, but obviously it's better in the marketing. It sounds a little bit more kind of interesting than double bed with a cutaway. And why does it have a cutaway? To enable you to walk round the end of the bed and to get into the washroom. It's a very simple solution. It does mean, however, that the taller person will have to sleep on the outside and closer to the wall in the middle of winter than the person on the inside, who definitely gets the better deal, and that extends to being able to get into the washroom in the middle of the night. Something else of note is the space heater. As you can see from the design, it's a real blast from the past. Now, most manufacturers don't fit this particular model anymore, but I'm told Auto-Trail's customers really like them, so the company is happy to oblige. And who are we to argue with that? Now, a corner washroom can never be the biggest thing in the world, but this one is perfectly acceptable. There's plenty of space to get dressed, there's a vanity unit, plenty of hooks, a swivel loo, and a moulded shower compartment. The moulded shower compartment is pretty cool too, because it has a rail for drying towels and wet clothes. There's a blown air vent in the floor, so you can get your clothes dry in no time, just when you may have got caught out on a wet British afternoon. Now, there's one more thing I haven't mentioned yet. In fact, I almost saved the best till last. Look at this amazing umbrella holder. Auto-Trail fits this to all its motorhomes, from the V-Line right up to the Apache and the Frontier. Imala has a lot of appeal, and the 715 will interest those who prize the comfort and convenience of a French bed. This model will cost you just above £45,000 on the road, so by the time you've pimped it up with some of the extensive options from Auto-Trail's catalogue, you will still come out on the right side of 50k. I don't think that's a bad place to be. A quality coach-built motorhome from one of the true icons in British motor caravan production.